I feel so weird filming out here. I never have once filmed in this area of my house. I've never just sat on the couch and chatted with you guys in this area of my house, so welcome. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Genevieve. For today's video, the first part, we're gonna have a little story time on contentment in our own homes and finding contentment with what we have. This is a story that's just been heavy on my heart that I want to share with you guys. And then the second part of the video is gonna be a bunch of renovations, not really renovations, but just some things that we're going to tackle around the house as warm weather approaches and all of that good stuff. We just have some plans for different areas of our home. So I thought it would be fun to show you guys my list. I have my iPad here with the longest to-do list of things that we want to accomplish around the house. And I'm gonna take you around. I'll insert clips of the different areas that I'm talking about while I'm chatting here with you guys and take you around the house, kind of expose ourselves, show you the different projects that we want to tackle, and then throughout the spring, the summer, the fall, kind of take you along with us and see how much we get accomplished. So like I said, I'm gonna try to keep this kind of, I'm not gonna say short because I know it's not gonna be short, but semi-short and sweet. I had touched on this in a previous video very briefly about a home that we put an offer on. It's been about, I would say, a year now. I can't even remember. I think it's been about a year that we put in an offer on a home about 10 minutes from us. I loved that house. It was everything that I envisioned. So my style dream home is a colonial that is symmetrical with an attached 2-car garage on land, just loads of space, a huge entryway, and this home checked all of those boxes. It was beautiful, and I came across it on realtor.com one day. It had been on the market for almost an entire year. So of course, with today's market, that's a red flag. We were kind of like what is that? Like our senses, our spidey senses were up. We knew there had to be a couple of things wrong as to why a beautiful home that was like 3,000 square feet on 5 acres, why it had not sold in almost a year. So we went to look at this house. We absolutely fell in love with it, and we put in an offer on this home. I had known someone who knew the owners. They were going through a nasty divorce, and in my head I was like, well, they're gonna be desperate to sell. It's been almost a year on the market. Even though we offered less than they're asking, they're gonna accept our offer. So I became obsessed. It took about a week for them to respond to our offer. And in that week, I had saved so much stuff on Pinterest, all these screenshots. This was what I was gonna do to the kitchen. I bought a table to go in the entryway. Like looking back, I'm so embarrassed at myself, but I don't know, I'm very gung-ho about things, and in my head, it was all going to work out. My husband is very much a realistic human and very financially smart and all of that good stuff. We balance each other very well because he grounds me. So long story short, and obviously because we are still in our current home that we've been in for 4 years, they did not accept our offer, and I was devastated. Like, I was absolutely devastated about it. I kept trying to convince Nick that we needed to put in another offer. Maybe they would accept like 50,000 more, yada yada. But my husband, like I said, is very much a realist. He's very financially smart. He went to school for business, so he's a very financially smart man, and he knew that the house needed work. We both knew that we would have to invest some time and some money into the home, and basically the amount that we offered was our max offer for us to be able to use money from this home if we sold it to put into that home, basically. If we had offered any more, we wouldn't have money to like do any projects. And he was like, I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. But in that moment, I'm like, oh, I don't care. I will budget our groceries better. Like, we can figure this out. So like I said, Nick and I are very good for each other because he was stern. No, we're not offering anymore. Like, that's it. It's not meant to be. This home is not for us. We are not moving there. And I really, really struggled to like accept that. So after our offer was declined, I continued to hunt on Realtor and Zillow. I just became so, is it incontent? I don't know. I just became so ungrateful for the home that I'm in. And looking back on that now, it actually makes me a little bit emotional. Woo! I didn't think I was gonna cry. These pregnancy hormones got me all crazy. But looking back at it, when we had moved into this home 4 years ago, I'm gonna smile. Oh God. I was in such a rough place in my life. Probably like my lowest point in my life. I lived with my mom and my sister, and our home was so chaotic, and being able to move here was like the most freeing experience of my life. And to look back at me, like even like 6 months ago, I was just so not content with this home because of seeing social media and these families that live on all of this land and acres of their farms, and they have this homestead and everything looks so perfect. Their house just looks so beautiful and perfect, and I just like wanted that so bad. And I finally feel like a breath of fresh air. We found out we were having a baby in January, and honestly, that has just put so much of life into perspective. I am so grateful that we did not get that home. It really is true, and I tried to tell myself during that experience of not getting our offer accepted and everything, if it's meant to be, it will be. And if it doesn't work out, it was not meant to be for you. But I really struggled in that moment to accept that. So now looking back, and now that we're having a baby and all of this stuff, we are so financially free in this home. We are able to save. The majority of both of our paychecks are able to go into savings, and we're able to do things in our home. We don't have to worry about, can we afford to go out to eat on Thursday night? It's just very freeing. Whereas if we were to have gotten in that house, we would be very strapped for money. And it's just crazy how you convince yourself, like when you're going through those things, like it's okay, like the home is beautiful. That kind of stuff just does not matter, especially when you're bringing a baby into this world. We have just become, well, I have just become so like realistic about things like that. And I am so grateful to kind of have gotten that reality check. And it has just made me feel so incredibly grateful for this house and the financial freedom that we have in this home, that we have a good savings, that we can do fun projects, and we know that like we're financially in a good space to have children. It is just such a freeing, rewarding feeling. And I just finally feel back to that girl that was so content with this home for the first couple years that we lived here. I was so content and grateful for this house, and I finally feel that again, which I'm really sad to admit that I lost that kind of contentment living here, but I'm grateful that I had a little reality check and I have that contentment again. I know that one day, this is not our forever home, we will get the home of our dreams on land, and I will look back and say to myself again, that is why that home did not work out for us, because we were meant to be here. So that was my long story. I've been chatting for a while, but yeah, I'm just feeling very content with what we've got. I feel so grateful, and I want to remind you guys too that just the way the economy is and life is and all of the negative things constantly that we hear throughout the day, we all just need to be a little bit more grateful for the things that we do have and find contentment in what you have. So I know for me, I'm always looking on Pinterest, Instagram, even here on YouTube, and I'm seeing all of these homes and I'm like, oh, I wish my kitchen looked like that, or I wish I had white countertops. I wish I had this in my dining room. Just the list goes on and on. You know, we see all of these things on social media and crave that, you know? So going back to that house we put an offer on, I kept thinking about all of these DIY projects that I would want to do in that house to make it what like my dream home would be. And it just makes me think, and now I am starting to do this, that why don't I just do that here? Why don't I invest the time and the money into those kind of projects here, you know? So maybe our kitchen layout isn't the layout of my dreams, but you know what? I can do little things that make me feel content and kind of give me that vibe of what I want. So that's kind of the moral to my story, is finding contentment in the home that you have. And if you're not content, do some DIY projects to make it exactly, well, maybe not exactly, but make it close to what you love or what you see on Instagram. If you see all of these adorable peg rails on Instagram in people's kitchen and open shelving, try to do that in your own home and make it the home that you love so you feel more content with what you've got. So that being said, we do have some projects in mind that I think will make me feel a little bit more content about our home. We have loads of things that we want to accomplish before our baby comes in September. And even if we don't accomplish them all, that is totally okay. It'll give me some things to do. I'm always looking for things to do, projects to do, DIYs to accomplish. So that is absolutely no problem to me. But I'm going to bust out my iPad because I have a little to-do list going of lots of things that we want to accomplish here over the next couple of months. So I'm gonna chill here and go over this list, and after the video record some clips that I will add in periodically to kind of show you the different projects that we are going to tackle. So the first big space that we are tackling is our upstairs bathroom. We have a full bath upstairs that we always said we don't need it right now. We have a stand-up shower in our master bathroom. So we said once we have a baby, then we will renovate that bathroom. And now 4 years into living here, we are finally renovating the bathroom. It was like a dungeon, and now we painted it. We have a tub, which getting a new tub was an absolute nightmare. It was delivered cracked. We had to return it, reorder it. It's been a dream. So we are redoing that. We have a new vanity, a new toilet. So that room is going to get a total makeover, which is very exciting. So that is in the works. That's like the first project we are accomplishing. After that, we want to continue upstairs. We have trim that we need to finish. That has not been finished in 4 years. We need to put quarter round down where the floor met the existing baseboards. So we need to finish trim work upstairs. And then of course the nursery, we are going to be working on that. We need to replace the bedroom doors on 2 of the bedrooms upstairs. So just those like little detailed projects that you put off when you first move into a house, and nobody goes upstairs. So that was even more of a reason for us to put those projects off. So yeah, we are planning to complete the bathroom first, the nursery, get the trim work done up there, and then kind of move downstairs, because those are the 2 major things that we want to get done before the baby comes. So that being said, after we're done upstairs, we got quite a few things that we're doing downstairs. So I will show you our existing shed. I believe this shed has probably been here since the house was built. It is definitely in need of replacement. So we just purchased a new shed from Home Depot, and that is coming May 10th. It's going to be delivered and assembled by Home Depot. We had our land surveyed, so we found out that we had way more property than we thought we did. So the shed is going to end up going in between these trees, and that's going to give us way more space in our backyard, which is very exciting. And then we are replacing our fencing eventually. We did get some quotes that were astronomical, so Nick and his brothers and his dad will probably end up doing it themselves, but we are going to replace all of our wooden fence with white vinyl fencing. And then we need to install a sprinkler system because we knocked a bunch of pipe work out when we installed our concrete pad, so we need sprinklers, and eventually we will have some grass. So loads of projects for the backyard. We kind of have done a little bit year after year. Our second year here, we had all of our trees removed in our backyard. Last year we had our concrete pad poured and got our gazebo. So little by little, we have been saving up for different projects, and yeah, house stuff is expensive, especially right now. So that's the plans for the backyard. I have loads of plans for our kitchen. So I purchased a new sink, and it's currently on my front porch for USPS to come pick it back up because it arrived with a crack in it. So that's lovely after our tub came cracked. Now our sink is cracked. So it is a beautiful quartz sink. I will link it down below if you're in the market for a new sink. It was pretty affordable. It was less than $300. Our sinkhole is small. It's only a 25-inch drop-in sink, but it is beautiful and white, and we are going to replace that. We currently have a stainless steel one, and the white will just vibe so much better with our aesthetic of our home. Once we pull that stainless steel sink out, I'm going to repaint our countertops. We currently have linoleum countertops that I previously painted with countertop paint, and it is held up very well, but it's in a gray color and I want to paint them white. I watched a YouTube tutorial of a woman painting her countertops with that appliance paint, and hers look absolutely beautiful, and I just love solid white countertops, so that's the vibe I'm going for. Very excited to do that, but I need to wait for a day that it's warm. I can open up all of the windows and really go to town on that project. So that will be coming soon. We're also going to get a new black faucet just to go with like the vibe of our kitchen as well. Something that I would absolutely love to do would be to install beadboard around our fridge. I saw Pine and Prospect Home do this to her side of her fridge, and I think that would look so beautiful and really brighten up the space because our fridge is so black. And I think adding the white beadboard surrounding that would just like brighten up the area a little bit more on each side of the fridge. So that's a plan. I don't know if it's gonna work. I haven't even talked to my husband about that idea. He's gonna love that idea. But that is a thought that I have for in the kitchen as well. When I first moved in, we painted our cabinets white with Valspar cabinet enamel. I cannot recommend that paint enough. It is kind of annoying to work with. It took quite a few coats, but we've lived here for 4 years and that paint has held up so beautifully. I am so happy with the outcome of that. I would recommend that till I was blue in the face to anyone who wants to paint their cabinets. I do just want to give them a nice little refresh and a touch up, so that's a plan that I have in the kitchen as well. One thing that I wanted to accomplish so bad was our fireplace transformation, and I got that completed. I am elated about the results. I am so happy to have that done. That's a project I've wanted to do for years and years, and I filmed it. I put it on my channel if you're interested in seeing that, but I just watched a bunch of YouTube tutorials on how to do brick and grout, and I'm obsessed with how that turned out. So that is one project that we can check off of our list, which makes me very happy and very proud. But back in the kitchen, one thing that we are very excited about is I am going to create a little, like a seating area with a small counter in this area of our kitchen that is kind of like a weird space. There is a load-bearing beam, a vertical beam at this wall, so this wall cannot come out, unfortunately, so it makes kind of like a weird square area in the wall. But we are going to take the trim work off and purchase a piece of wood that kind of extends out and makes a countertop, and I will be painting that white to match our countertops with our kitchen. And then I have the seating underneath, so that will be the area where we can have like a little snack bar, breakfast bar area, and we will no longer sit at the island. I am revealing our island to you guys finally, but I love that you can't sit at the island and make it a drop zone anymore. We have been very good at not just throwing everything on the island or hanging jackets and hoodies on the chairs that were at the island. That was my biggest pet peeve, and I felt like it was so hard to keep it clean. So now our island is just for prep work, for when we cook, and then this other area will be just for like sitting down to have a snack or sitting down to have dinner. Very, very excited about that change. One other thing that I want to complete in the kitchen is to trim the bottoms of our kitchen cabinets. We have lived here for 4 years, and this has been a project on my mind that we just never got to. So if you're like that and your home has those things that year after year you notice but you just don't get around to, you are not alone. So we need to add like the bottom molding to our cabinets. I guess it just like disappeared when we were renovating when we first moved in. I have no clue, but we need to trim out the bottoms of our cabinets so that they look finished, which I think will make such a difference in our kitchen once that's done. So that's definitely a project to tackle as well. There's really not many changes that we're going to make in the living room, which is where I'm sitting now. This room I'm content with right now. I think it is fine. It looks fine. Our couches are still in decent shape, except for where my dog thinks she's a cat and she ruins the top of my couch. But other than that, our couches are still pretty good after 4 years. We have no plans to replace them or anything, and I love our TV stand, all of that good stuff. Our sitting room is very empty. You guys will be sad to know that I sold our IKEA shelving unit that was in here. It was just very large and not practical. It was just full of decor, and I got rid of most of that decor, but it just was not practical for bringing a baby into our home. We need more like storage space type of solutions. So I am on the hunt for a beautiful pine armoire or a cabinet, something with closed doors where we can store some baby stuff downstairs, toys for when she gets older. I plan on keeping this room pretty aesthetic. Like, it's still going to be my vibe, but baby stuff is going to go into this room. It is the room that is directly off of our living room where we're always hanging out, so it'll be very convenient to put a lot of baby stuff out there, like a little playpen, all of that good stuff. It'll just work very well for the way our home layout is and how our home functions. So I do plan on replacing these chairs with recliners. We want to get some nicer looking recliners because after I give birth and all of that stuff, it will just be convenient to have those kind of chairs down here, and they'll be way more comfortable as well. I can't even tell you the last time we like relaxed on those chairs. They are very aesthetic and not practical. So we are moving towards more practical ways of living. One area that I'm really excited about is our entryway. I just spackled some holes in the entryway today, but we laid out with blue painter's tape the idea for how we want the board and batten in our entryway to go. So we're going to board and batten this whole area, install some black hooks so that this can really be like a drop zone for coats and keys and bags and all of that stuff. It'll just be so much more convenient, and we're gonna paint that area white, which will really make the space pop because it is kind of dark in our entryway. So I'm very excited about that. We already have the wood purchased for that, so we're gonna get to starting that project very soon. And then our front door, we plan on replacing, so I'm hype about that. We're gonna get a new front door, and we're gonna get a glass storm door, which I cannot wait for the sunlight to pour in, open that up in the mornings. the cats can sit there and watch like the birds in the front yard. It'll just be so beautiful. I'm very, very excited to replace the door and add a glass storm door to the front entryway. I keep looking down at my list and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do that too. And then I think of other things that aren't on this list. And honestly, the projects will probably never stop because I am the type of person that I love projects. I will always think of new things that we can do and tackle. So in my head, my project list is never ending, but we do want to replace our, I call them boob lights. We have boob lights all over our house and I want to replace them. Nick and I cannot come to an agreement on lights that we like. He doesn't mind the style, but wants like a different color. And I absolutely can't stand exposed light bulbs. We have a light in our sitting room that has an exposed light bulb and I just cannot find those pretty looking light bulbs that actually give off the light that I want when it's dark in my house. So I really want to try to find like flush mount ceiling lights that are pretty but have like a dome cover. I will insert a photo of the one that I kind of like, that I think that I'm going to purchase, that Nick's like kind of likes but isn't 100% on, but I think it will look way better than the ones that we have now. And those have been here for 4 years and they have just worked for us, so we let them be, but we are able to finally do some projects after saving up for many years. So yes, the boob lights need to go. So like I said, I could create projects and projects in my head forever, but the last one that I can think of is I want to paint our whole house alabaster by Sherwin-Williams. Nick, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I recently, okay, it wasn't recent, it was like 2 years ago. And like painting is not like a mundane task. Like it's not daunting to me. I love a fresh coat of paint. So I will paint all day, every day. But 2 years ago, I painted our walls Repost Gray by Sherwin-Williams. And I'm just over it. I'm over the gray paint. I just cannot find a good gray in this house that doesn't come up purple in some lighting. I'm just over it. And we painted our bathroom upstairs that we're renovating alabaster by Sherwin-Williams, and it is beautiful. It is so beautiful. Even with the, like, there's no windows or anything, so just with the standard light bulbs on, the white looks, it's so good. It's so beautiful. So yeah, I want to paint our whole house white. That is very exciting to me. And I also want to give all of our trim in our house a nice fresh coat of enamel, and that'll just make it exceptional. So as of right now, I think that is everything that we plan to tackle in our house for the upcoming couple of months. Slowly but surely, we will get things done, but I am the type of person, I love projects. I love to be busy on my days off, so I can get a lot of this stuff done. I know it seems like so much to do, but this is like the time where I thrive. I love to do projects like this. So I hope this video was helpful to you, made you feel a little bit more content about the home that you live in. I hope that you enjoyed hearing the different projects that we plan to tackle, and maybe get inspired to tackle some projects in your own home to make it what you love and a home that you are excited to come home to. I am so excited to take you guys along for the next couple of months with these different projects that we have in mind. I will document all of it or as much of it as I can. And as always, I'm so grateful for you guys, for this community, for your patience with me this year. We are finally feeling that home decor motivation again. Get this house in tip-top shape. Yes. So thanks for letting me share all of that. I hope you made it to the end of the video, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.